All right, we are live. I am Sean Moriarty.
I am Benjamin Walters. Welcome into the Two Irish Brothers.
Live show. Oh, we got a lot of fun tonight.
Yes, we do.
Sort of. Well, it is fun for one reason because, even though he's not a rival, he's actually a very good friend. We're going head to head with Big Ball Daddy tonight. He just went live a couple minutes ago as well.
Not bad, not bad.
But hey, the way I see it, there is love around for everybody.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So, yeah, we got two people watching. At least that's according to the little eye indicator thing here. But I'd like, as I say, every live show, there's got to be more people watching than that.
One would hope.
Well, I'm going to do one thing that might help us. Here is what that is. I am doing this on the air live right now. I'm going to my personal Facebook page, and I'm going to advertise, which I should have done before we started recording, I guess.
Yep.
We are live now. Come say hi. Do you think that works, or should I say we are live now? Come say hi, or I'll beat your ass.
Come say hi.
Okay, that's probably a little too brutal, isn't it? Okay, da-di-da-di-da. Now let's go to the Notre Dame group that I help manage. I don't expect anybody from here to come because they don't really care too much. And to be honest with you, sometimes I wonder how many of those accounts are actually real.
Yeah.
And also, this is just to kill a few minutes anyway until we get set, because I got to bring up the link that you just sent me. Carnivorous Lunar Activity, what's up, dude? Another long-time viewer of ours. Can you believe it, man? We are like 16 people away from 1,000 subscribers. And thank you for guys like Carnivore here that followed us all these years. They're the ones that make it happen. All right, Ben. So I think we can go ahead and get the discussion started. And, because we do have some people watching, which some is better than none. You brought something to my attention. And this is big, actually, considering the fact that, this upcoming Saturday is ready for it? No, the Notre Dame football spring game. The blue and gold game. It just happens.
We're going to have to pick and choose this Saturday. You know that? We're going to have to pick and choose what we want to watch because the Battlehawks are on at almost the exact same time.
11:30.
So I think I'm going to try to dual screen it.
I thought you were going to say we had three things to choose from, and I'm sorry, one of those I'm not partaking in, like a bunch of people are. You know what the date is on Saturday, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I am not partaking in that, and anybody who thinks about it, don't you partake in it as well. It is bad for you. Okay, there's a cheap-ass political statement. Yes, but let's get serious. We've got some news with Notre Dame, Ben, that you showed to me, and even I didn't see this. But this is interesting.
Yeah, this just popped up actually. Record School. Interesting.
Record School? I've never heard of that.
So Notre Dame athletes have been cast as employees in a new NLRB complaint. University of Notre Dame was charged with violating a Section 8, I should say, of the National Labor Relations Act by allegedly misclassifying its athletes as student athletes when they are actually, according to this, employees. This is kind of in wake of the upcoming presidential election and the College Basketball Players Association, which is the CBPA, an advocacy group who is led by Michael Hoos. Michael Hoos originally was from the University of Minnesota. So Notre Dame did not file it. The Notre Dame student athletes, I should say. Notre Dame student athletes did not file it themselves. It was actually Michael Hoos who filed it, allegedly against the University of Notre Dame. But the big thing is federal law authorizes any person to file a charge if it alleges that any person has engaged in or is engaging in any unfair labor practice affecting commerce. So really, one of the players has to take up the torch for anything to happen. So that'll be interesting to see what kind of happens and goes on with that. And that's kind of the gist of the article. I will throw the article in our chat so people actually see it. Join the chat. Let's see if I can actually do this. Let's do that. And I will do my regular one. There we go. Continue. Yes. Oh, okay. Yes, allow that.
And if anybody wants to join the chat, here is the.
There we go. There we go.
I'll let you post yours first.
There she be.
Posted it twice.
Interesting. I don't know why I did that. That is weird.
Yeah, because there's the second time.
Oh, I wonder if it's like it was too big or something. I don't know.
Oh, I hear that all the time.
But I mean, you see the
time.
title of it. Whoever sees the title of it, you can go and look that up. So it's interesting. That was really interesting. That kind of came across my my quote unquote desk today when I was checking some stuff out Notre Dame wise. The other big thing is Notre Dame lacrosse rolls on, man. They are unstoppable right now. Just absolutely unstoppable. So pretty excited about them. Very happy for them too. Because we're trying to repeat, and it would be awesome to see a repeat.
We were talking about this when Ryan was with us the last live stream that we did, and it is unbelievable how much of a Notre Dame is not only a football school, but it's now becoming a lacrosse school with how good that both programs, actually, the men and women's, how good they both have gotten.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's nice to see multiple sports doing really, really well. I mean, we've seen hockey do pretty well in the past. Hockey's still pretty good. And
they fell off this past
men's
season.
Basketball has dipped. Obviously, baseball has dipped. Women's basketball is still very much in the hunt. I think they're a couple pieces away from being a legit contender, but they're definitely in the hunt most years now.
Speaking of men's basketball, did you see that we lost a player to the transfer portal?
Yeah, I mean, that's all right, though. And we're still figuring, hey, we doing? Hey, we doing? Get it.
Yeah, Carrie Booth.
But, yeah, I mean, that happens. That happens, and it's no big deal. So, I would rather have guys that are all in than guys that are not. So, if you're not all in, I wish you nothing but the best, but goodbye. So
all I know is I've said this before with the basketball team. They are super, super young right now, and this will give us an idea of what kind of coach Micah Shrewsbury is with all these
and the other big thing that people have to remember, the other big thing is, look at the conference that Notre Dame belongs to in basketball. I mean, it is not an easy conference. It's not. You have UNC, Duke, Florida State's really good in basketball right now. Miami's pretty darn good in basketball. Obviously, Syracuse is there. Virginia just recently won a national title, so they're still up there. So, I mean, and the list goes on. I mean, you can name even more teams than just that, but the list goes on. So, top to bottom, the ACC is way different than some of these other conferences that these schools play for. So.
Of course, it's
going to be, it's a selling point for sure. I mean, you can definitely sell recruits on, hey man, you're going to play Duke and North Carolina and these others, but it's also a detriment because not only are you going to have to really up your game, but you're also going to lose some recruits to these places too. So It's a double-edged sword, if you will.
Yeah, that's just the nature of the beast now with college athletics. At least the top ones anyway, the top sports. Guys are going to play there a year. Seems like 2 years tops these days, but I don't know. I like to think there's still a sense of commitment in in some areas.
Oh, there definitely is.
And also to everybody who's watching, wanted to get this out there. Here in the live chat is the link to come on the show if you want to talk to us for a couple minutes and ask us a question or just what. So feel free to hit that link.
I do have a good question for you, Sean. I have a good question. I've been, and same with the viewers. I'm interested to hear the viewers' thoughts on this. I have a person in mind. Who do you think is the most polarizing figure in college football currently?
The most polarizing figure in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Any particular factors or just
nope?
Doesn't matter.
It could be coach, could be player.
Deion Sanders.
Man,
he's a big name. He's making noise. I mean, geez, he just got on his players' asses for skipping class and poor grades and all that.
Yep.
Who did you have in mind?
Deion Sanders, man. Deion Sanders. Like I said, you took my bit. But yeah, I mean, I think he is. I really do. And what makes it, in my opinion, better, and I'm almost tempted. Almost, and I'm still debating. I'm almost tempted to sport some Colorado gear this year. I'm very tempted, just because there are so many people that take exception to everything. I mean, everything he does. It doesn't matter. Deion Sanders could cure cancer. He could cure. Be mad about it. Like, it's just incredible. Like how many people whine and cry. About everything he does. Everything. And like the guy just can't catch a break when it comes to certain fans. Like, and you know what? I mean, he's gonna laugh it all the way to the bank, A. And B,
yeah.
I mean, clearly he doesn't care because
he keeps getting those almonds, dude.
First off, I mean, you gotta have some thick skin to be a coach in college.
Oh, of course.
Especially FBS Division I. So I get that. But he's the typical coach that, I mean, it just rolls. It rolls right on off. And it'll be really interesting to see what Colorado does this season. It really will. And they're a new conference. They're back in the Big 12. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. But I think he is. I mean, I think there are other people that are very polarizing. I really do. Like, there are a bunch of other names that you could throw out there, but I think Deion is the number one right now. With Saban leaving and retiring, I should say. With Saban retiring, I think Deion is officially. Kirby Smart's up there too, though. Like, I will say, Kirby Smart for Georgia, and Georgia in general. Like, Georgia in general is very polarizing. But I think they're right below Deion right now, just because the media presence that Deion attracts without even trying. Like, I mean, he shits and people are all over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah.
Do you think a lot of that, like the people not liking Deion, is just because of his playing days in the NFL when, he Mr. Flash, Mr. Primetime, and they think cockiness and arrogance and
right.
Is like, when do people realize that that's not necessarily the same person off the field as on the field?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally think it's that. I totally agree. I think it's, they're going by how he was when he was a youngster. And it's not just Deion either. Like, there's a lot of coaches that get they're cocky, they're arrogant, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's a double-edged sword for these fans because it's like, if the coach doesn't do enough, they go, oh, well, the coach needs to really, put himself out there and really make some noise and stuff. But then when they do, then it's, oh, well, they're all about them, or they're very cocky and arrogant, and it's like, okay, well, you can't have both ways. I'm sorry, like you got to have one way or the other. So yeah, I totally think it's because of his playing days. And I think, people are like, oh, well, look at what he used to do and all that. And it's like, okay, but can people not learn from their mistakes? I mean, seriously, like, can they not like be like, yo, I made these mistakes. I don't want you to make them. And like, I'm a parent, was I perfect? No. Did I make mistakes? Heck yeah. Some of the things like, and even with the kids that I deal with at my job, it's like some of the things that they did, I did. Like, and it's not me being a hypocrite. It's me trying to go, okay, don't go down some of the paths that I went down.
Well,
I didn't go down the worst paths. I didn't, but
no, same here.
I mean, don't make the same mistakes I made. And that's what Dion's trying to do with these players. I believe. I mean, he seems to me, he seems pretty genuine. He seems like it's not just winning. It seems like you're a student athlete. Student is stressed with him. So I don't know. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way with some of the way that these people are.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because we've all done stuff when we were kids, doing stupid things, and like you said, I'm the same way. I didn't do anything that was exactly extreme. Like, I never really. Well, I guess technically I broke the law, yeah, but it's not like I stole a car or did drugs or anything like that. And speaking of which, you want to share what you did as a kid? I'll share. I'll start first. The biggest thing I got busted for when I was a kid. The biggest thing I got busted for was egging houses. And you know what? The funny part is that's not even the worst part. The one time that I got caught for it, the cops were called. Yes, I got my ass chewed out by the cops. But the worst part is that it was the night before my confirmation at church. Did I ever tell you that story?
I think you've mentioned it. Now that you say that, I think you have told me that.
Okay, yeah, I'm not proud of it, but I did it, and I got to own it. Now it's your turn.
Gosh, I mean, there's a number of things I've done. Nothing like you said, like you. Like, I'm not some extremo that did some crazy stuff when I was younger, but I've had my fair share. Hey, what are you doing over there?
I'm just sitting here.
Anyway, dog's getting into trouble. These darn youngsters. Anyway, there was one time that, I mean, I've snuck out a couple times, that kind of stuff. I mean, nothing major, nothing super, malicious or anything like that. But yeah, sneaking out was one of them.
But here's the thing. Okay, big deal sneaking out. What did you do?
So it was me and a buddy, and we actually went to confront somebody because we caught wind that it was going to be a throwdown, big time. Like, it was going to be like,
okay, now this is getting scary.
It was going to be a fight. Yeah. So my buddy's girlfriend and stuff, I guess, was like getting threatened. Isn't the right word. But like a step below threatened, whatever that would be. I can't even think of the right word for it. But anyway, she caught wind supposedly that somebody was coming to mess with her house or whatever that she lived at. So we snuck out. I was actually at his house. And I was staying the night, and we snuck out and drove over there. And we were like sticking in the shadows and waiting, and all that. And nothing ended up happening.
You were running with the night.
So yeah,
in the shadows.
But, I mean, that's one of the few things, like I
name the song, people.
One of my most proud moments of my life.
Oh, and the artist too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That I snuck So we ended up getting. This is great. This is absolutely great. My parents laugh about it now. I don't think they would have been too happy about it back then, but my library that I went to and frequented a lot way back when. Dude,
I saw your guys' library at your house.
This was pretty advanced for the times. Like, to be honest with you, I mean, I'm not saying like we're from the early days, but I mean there were some things that just weren't things yet, and one of them was self-checkout. There was no such thing as self-checkout when we were younger.
Yeah, it was in its infancy stages at that point, right?
Even then, I mean, it was still like just unheard of. But the library got a self-checkout station that you could check out, like anything. And the library that I would go to had CDs and movies. The worst kind of movies they had were like rated R. I mean, there was nothing, nothing dirty or anything.
They're not going to put X-rated movies in a library.
Right. But you could check out a CD, you could check out a book, you could check out a movie or whatever. So I started going to the self-checkout, just speed things up, And then I got this bright idea that I'm like, dude, I wonder if I could check out a rated R movie. I wonder if I could. Like, I'm totally not able to, like, as a kid. Like, I mean, I wasn't a kid. I was in my teen years, but I think I was like 13, 14, something like that. But like, if you took it up to the counter, the librarian would say that, she's going to put it back, and all that. And she wouldn't like check out or he. There was a couple of he's, but more she's than he's. And so anyway, I'm like, I wonder if I could do that. Because like, how would it know? I mean, it's not going to know and all that. It's not like my age is like written on my library card, and all that. So, dude, I freaking checked that thing out. Like, it worked. Like, it totally freaking worked. Like, so nice. I started like legit, like getting these rated R movies and sneaking them into my house and going up to my room and watching them because I had a DVD player. I think it was tapes back then. I had a tape player.
VHSs, huh?
But
anybody watching remember VHS tapes? I actually still have a VCR here. I still watch.
Yeah, I think I still have one, but it's in storage. But yes, I do have one.
Is it weird that I'm actually using mine?
Because the DVDs, you had to do something really special to them to like actually get it, and they had a machine that did it because you couldn't actually open the case without the machine because it would like lock the case basically. So it had to have been tapes, but yeah. So I was doing that for a minute, and that was really funny actually, really really funny. Like, and I mean, I watched like Rambo and stuff. I mean, like stuff like that.
Well, that's just it. Most rated R movies aren't that big a deal anyway.
I came from a very, really, really religious family. Like, people got to understand that. Like, I mean, I am a classic, like, Notre Dame Catholic. If my mom would have known what I was doing, I would have gotten in some big trouble with her.
Oh, shame on you for watching this filth Rambo, Ben. How dare you watch Rambo?
So, yeah, no, that was probably, I mean, and that like to this day is still one of my proud moments actually, like something that I'm just like, but yeah, just stuff like that. I mean, I've been in I would say a couple, I've been in some fights, and all that, but now back then, here's the thing though, back then it was way different than it is now. Like, there wasn't no like brawls, you know what I'm saying? Like, not like 20 people. Like, it was one-on-one, and like once it got to a certain point, people stopped it. Like, it wasn't like it is now.
It's not like what you see on the YouTube videos.
So, but
I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of us boys, men, however you want to say it, we've all been in a scuffle or two when we were younger.
But, you naughty, naughty kid, Ben.
But
you naughty, naughty kid.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays I feel bad for kids nowadays. I really do, because nowadays you can't do anything without somebody having a camera. Like, really, I mean, like, there's so many, and I'm not advocating for that. I'm not, but it's just sad. It's sad that, there's just always somebody quote unquote recording.
Yeah, I know. I can't stand it either.
But,
I'll tell you one thing though. When we were growing up, and this is in our case the late '90s, early 2000s, when we started getting into when causing mischief. The easiest way was always this. And anybody watching, tell us something different. And by the way, there's the link in the live chat if you want to come in and talk to us for a few minutes. We always like talking to our audience. But this was the easy part. All you had to do was just tell your parents that you were camping out in the backyard. You're in a tent. It's easy to come and go as you please. Go anywhere you want.
Yep. Especially once they go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you just get out of the tent and go do your business. In our case, it was like 2 blocks away to egg somebody's house. But I will say this: the night that I talked about earlier about the cops coming before my church confirmation, the night before, we were actually stupid that night because my buddy who I did it with, he thought it'd be a good idea to do it right to my next door neighbor.
Oh God.
Kind of easy when you're doing it to your next door neighbor, considering you just live a house over.
Right.
Gee, I wonder who did it. Maybe those kids that ran to the house next door.
Right.
So yeah, we weren't. That was one of those times where we weren't very how should I say, stealthy. All right, so we've been talking about our childhood for like the last 15 minutes, but it's fun stuff. But got to bring up this, Ben. Getting back to sports here for a second. So a week from now at this time, another big night of the year for the NFL is the NFL draft. And just so everybody knows, we are probably going to we haven't decided yet, but we possibly will. We'll probably do a live watch party, if you will, while the draft is going on. And so, yeah, be on the lookout for that next week. And we'll try to do that the time that the draft starts, which is Central Time for us. But I don't bring the draft up for this reason. I bring the draft up because of who's officially going to be in the league next Thursday. And it's most likely going to be with the Bears. I'm waiting for the grin to show up on your face. Well, actually, I can't say you're going to grin because you have no idea where this is going, do you? But regardless, whether it's with the Bears or in a crazy, out-of-this-world twist, if it happens to be another team for whatever reason, Caleb Williams is officially going to be in the NFL.
Hey, guys, get down. Quit messing with each other.
No, that's what she said.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
But that's
I'm really curious to see who does go number one, and if the Bears trade back and all that. Like, I really am, really am.
I'm just bracing myself for it to be Caleb Williams number one overall, which it's very likely.
Since we're talking draft, like, is it safe to assume that Alt is the number one Notre Dame guy?
Yeah, I'd say so.
But let me ask you this, because I was talking with a buddy. Do you think that Estime gets drafted, or do you think that he could potentially be an undrafted free agent?
Well, there's always that possibility, but with as hard as Estime runs, some team is going to draft him.
Yeah, I think they would be stupid to pass up on him. But
now, Sam Hartman, as much as I like him, I could see him being an undrafted free agent. But I'd like to think some team is going to need some quarterback depth, or that that one they feel they can build up.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what goes down.
But definitely, I think Joe Alt is the top guy out of all the Notre Dame guys. I have a good feeling he's going top 10. And if it's outside the top 10, it's only by a couple spots.
Yeah.
But then again, even if he doesn't go top 10, I wouldn't read too much into that. It just says that there were some teams that had some bigger needs than offensive tackle.
Yeah.
But no, he's hands down the best of the bunch as far as Notre Dame guys go. But anyway, dude, the reason I bring up Caleb Williams is not to piss and moan about what the negative impact he could bring to my Bears. Not at all. And I've said a million times, if he does come to Chicago, which is likely going to happen, depending on a crazy plot twist, I'll cheer for him. It's like I'm going to cheer against a player that comes to my team, you know. I mean, it'd have to be extremely bad for that to be the case, but I mean that's going to be our quarterback. But I give everybody a chance. That's you got to be not just as a fan, but just as a human being as well. You got to be fair and give people a chance. But no, the reason I bring up Caleb Williams is with him officially becoming a part of the NFL next Thursday night, there is $1 million question that I have to ask. Who is then going to be the bigger NFL diva? Caleb Williams or Taylor Swift? Was that Murph?
That was my other dude. He scared the crap out of me. I was not ready for that.
Did he just give his answer? Who'd he pick?
Yeah, he picked Taylor Swift. But yeah, oh man, I don't know. Like, I don't even know like if Caleb Williams would be number one though. Like, there are some other guys in the league that I think are just huge divas. Like, they're just monster like, I mean, some wide receivers, and I mean, there are multiple guys that I could say would be bigger than Caleb.
Well, the thing is, I'm not even asking that question because I'm serious. I'm asking because I have a little slideshow that I put together, and I think this is how it would go. Hey, Taylor, what's going on, baby? I've officially arrived to take your place. Oh, no, you didn't, Caleb. I'm the diva of the NFL, not you. I beg to differ, baby. What you say? Oh, no, it's on right now. It's on. I'm Taylor Swift, bitch. Ain't nobody taking my spot. Oh, yes, I am taking your spot. And if I swung your way, I'd be taking your man, too. Oh, no. No, you didn't, honey. That crosses the line right there. Well, I said it. And my nails are sexier than yours, too. All right, that crosses all lines. I have better nails than you do. I beg to differ, sweetheart. Now you're just going to have to deal with it. Caleb is here to stay, and I have the sexiest nails more than anyone else. Come on, Bravo. Come on.
Oh, goodness gracious.
We haven't had a comment yet in the live chat. It's either because everybody's laughing, annoyed, or they're like, what the hell did I just watch?
Yeah. I'll take the latter on that one. Goodness.
Hey, come on. I spent a good hour putting that together at work, the whole dialogue.
That's
You know that's going to make for one hell of a short now.
yeah. Yeah, well.
You still looking shocked. Like, really, Sean? You're like, that's the look of like, really, Sean? You've lost it now. You've gone off the deep end.
Yeah. I don't know.
That'd be funny to see Caleb Williams and Taylor Swift have a nail off. No, I got the pretty nails. No, I got the pretty nails. But you're a man. You can't have pretty nails.
It'd be even better if Hines Ward got in on it.
Why Hines Ward?
Dude, so did you know that Hines Ward used to get like manicures and stuff?
I didn't, but that's now funny as hell.
Yeah.
I can see it with receivers though, because you got to have good hands.
Yeah.
You got to take care of your hands.
And he even said that's like the reason and all that. But like he made he made a catch in the Super Bowl or whatever. I mean, it was a fingertip catch. I mean, that ball was like,
oh yeah, when he was I know what catch you're talking
inches
about.
to the ground and whatever. And I remember I'm pretty sure it was one of the announcers. They were like, "Yep, ain't nobody going to be making fun of that manicure now," like or something to that.
I guess I don't remember I remember the catch. I don't remember that comment though.
Something to that.
I never even knew he did that.
But yeah, it was just funny that. But yeah, like I mean, it's it'd be funny if he did that because Hines Ward's done a couple of them things in the past like that. Like,
well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. I get it that dudes get that stuff done. Like with athletes, it makes sense because if you're like receiver, running back, those two positions in particular, and I guess you could throw tight end in there as well. But when they get that stuff done to their hands and then pedicures and whatnot, they're doing it for like what's the word?
Professional reasons.
Professional reasons. They're getting it
to help them in their line of work. Yes.
Yeah. To basically, I wasn't going to say medical. I was going to say medical.
Give them an edge, if you will.
Yeah, they're taking care of the key. They're trying to take care of the key parts of their body for their work, for their position, but they're not doing it just so they can look pretty. Like they're doing it to take care of. They're doing it to take care of crucial body parts. They're not doing it to look all pretty and stunning and dashing when they come out of the salon.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But unless you could speak to something other.
No.
No. Well, don't you lie, Ben. Don't you lie. Don't you lie to me, Ben.
I ain't lying, fool.
Why am I doing that accent? I don't know why I'm doing that. Ben, don't you be lying to these people about your nails. You know that. Oh, yes, Ben. You do tell the truth about that.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, you don't piss me off. You don't want to piss off Caleb Williams. Well, I just did, bitch. What you gonna do about it?
I think most of us.
Oh, girl, you have no idea what tree you're barking up.
I think Caleb Williams is a lot softer than both of us. That's just my opinion. I don't know. He does play football though. I guess I should give that to him. And it, yeah, maybe I should give that to him. But and he won a Heisman. I guess. I don't know. But
reminder, everybody in the live chat. Here is the link to come on and join us for a few minutes if you want to.
What would you think? Let me ask you this. This is a hypothetical here. Hypothetical.
Oh, boy.
What would you think if the Bears drafted Jaden Daniels?
I wouldn't hate it.
Like, would that not be – because, I mean, like, who do you think – like, who do people think is better? I honestly think Jaden Daniels is better than Caleb Williams. I do. Like, I mean, neither one of them plays at a school that I like. So, I mean, it's not like you can be like, well, you're just playing favorites. Like, I'm not playing any favorites here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sam Hartman, #1 overall, baby.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think Sam Hartman even cracks the top 10 or 15 of this quarterback class. But that's just me. So, yeah, I mean, I honestly think Jaden Daniels is better. That's just me.
Well, and he had one hell of a supporting cast around him too, which
a lot of these guys do though. That's the thing. Like a lot of these guys do. I mean,
no, I'm not playing that.
I'm just saying, like a lot of I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing, Sean. That's the thing. It's
you get your quarterback weapons.
I mean, like Joe Burrow won the Heisman for a reason too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, look who he had around him. Like, look at what they did. I mean, his numbers were off the charts. In his final season. Like, I mean, they did stuff that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
At the college level. So, yeah, I mean, these guys are, and that's the thing, and I think some of that is a detriment more than anything because look who you have around. Everybody that's around you is better than everybody else. That's not how it's going to roll in the NFL. Everybody's in the NFL for a reason.
Well, look at the Jaden Daniels situation. Him and one of his top targets are probably going to both go in the top 15.
Yeah.
The other one being what's his first name? Malik Neighbors. Neighbors, the last name is it Malik Neighbors?
I think you're right. Don't quote
Yeah.
me.
They're both looking to go in the top 15.
So yeah, I don't know. I think like everybody thinks that Caleb Williams is the lock for the number 1 pick, and it's nothing against Caleb Williams, and it's nothing. I mean, it's none of that. It's just more the media for me. It's just constant. Caleb Williams gonna be number 1. Caleb Williams gonna be number one. Number one. Nothing would make me happier and make me laugh more than if he didn't go number 1. And it's nothing against him. It's everything about the media and perception, and all that.
It's all the build up. There comes a point where you get tired of the build up. It's like, okay, let's just get the draft here, get these guys drafted over and done with. And yeah, I hear what you're saying. And like I said, I can't say this enough. Being a Bears fan, when they take him, most likely, I want him to succeed.
Yeah.
I want him to succeed. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Whether it's Caleb Williams or if the Bears do pull a surprise move and take either take Jaden Daniels number 1 overall, or if they make a trade down from number 1 to take Jaden Daniels, whoever they take, they're coming into one hell of a situation, because usually when a team drafts a quarterback number 1 overall, what's the usual setup? What is it usually that they're walking into? It's a rebuilding process, right?
Yeah, a disaster.
Yeah, and you're just you're that quarterback that is the one that's supposed to be the franchise, the one you build around,
the savior, if you will.
Yeah, and then it takes a couple years or so to to really put it together. That's really not the case here with the number 1 overall pick, because the number 1 overall pick, whether it's Williams again, most likely, or in some crazy scenario with Jaden Daniels or whoever, because I think with the Bears, their top 2 are probably 1 Caleb Williams, 2 Jaden Daniels. I mean, I'm not saying Drake May is bad, but I'm just not sold on him. JJ, he could do pretty well, but I don't know. It's just Williams and Daniels are the big ones for me. But anyway, the point that I was getting at is, look at what they're walking into. 2 number 1 wide receivers, a revamped running back room with the addition of DeAndre Swift, an improved offensive line, which the offensive line still needs some work. I admit that, but it's better. An elite defense to fall back on, which the Bears have done a great job putting the finishing touches on that this offseason. And then you get another number 1 draft pick, another round 1 draft pick, which I don't think it'll be number 9. I think if the Bears are gonna trade down, I think it'll be at number 9. Because like I said, after that, you really don't have. I think they only have like 2 or 3 more picks after that number 9 overall.
Yeah, I think they have 4 picks total in the draft.
Yeah, so they need to get a couple more. But so yeah, that quarterback, whoever it is, they actually, this is weird to say considering it's Chicago, but they're walking into one hell of a situation, because they're gonna have weapons from the start. And usually that's not the case always with rookie quarterbacks. They're usually walking into a disaster, and they have to build up for a few years. So, yeah, definitely a plus there for sure. But no, it honestly would shock me at this point if the Bears traded back from number 1. But as we've seen in the draft before, there's always a surprise, always something that you don't see coming.
Yeah, always. I mean, every year, every year, there's somebody goes higher than everybody thought. Somebody goes lower than everybody thought. Some team trades back. Some team trades up. I mean, so yeah, it's very, very interesting. And that's why everybody gets excited and tunes into it, because you just never know what's going to happen. You never know. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
But so anyway, what's something else we could touch on? Let's talk the Battlehawks or the let's talk the UFL in general. Have you been following at all the TV ratings and the attendance numbers for the league so far?
Yeah, and go ahead. I'll let you go first. I have an opinion. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say it's not anything bad. It's not anything bad. With what this league has, from the time they've started, they've walked into a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
They walked into just coming off the Super Bowl for the NFL. There was the Easter holiday. We had the Masters. What else is in there that I'm forgetting? The both NCAA basketball tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom line, what I'm getting at is look at what all they've walked into at the start of their season. So seeing the numbers with all that they've had to compete with, I'd say they're doing pretty damn good because every game, I think the lowest watched game to this point in the season was like 500,000 or 600,000 people, which for a professional football league and with what they're going up against, I'd say that's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. Mm-hmm.
and even the attendance figures for what the league is, you're still. I think the lowest one was like 8,000 for attendance, like of all the games that I saw, anyway, like 8,000 attendance, which most people are like, oh, that sucks, it's terrible. Actually, no, it's not. When you look at everything and look at the logistics of it all, it's pretty good. But that's my take. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much in the same boat. It's going to take time. That's the thing. Like, you're not going to have sold out stadiums. Like, it's just not. St. Louis is an anomaly. Okay, St. Louis has been the anomaly in multiple sports now. In football and in soccer, they've been the anomaly where day in, day out, their stadium's sold out. So it's going to take time. And people are like, oh, well, you got to have more than one or two seasons, and you got to give people consistency, and you got to give things a chance. Look at what happens when there are teams that come and join in the soccer ranks. Soccer's the best example I can give you. It takes a few years for that stadium to get completely full. And some people are like, oh, well, look at this team or look at that team. Okay, well, they were a team for a few years before they jumped up in some of those instances. You can't just say, oh, well, look at this attendance or look at that attendance. People have brought up Miami. Okay, well, it took Miami getting Lionel Messi to get butts and seats.
Yeah.
I mean, they were around for 5-6 years before anything like that happened. Well, you're not going to have sold out stadiums in year two of an expanding football league. They're expanding next year. And I think another big thing with this is people have to remember, I think some of these teams shouldn't be where they're at. I don't. I think, especially like Texas. Texas has 3 teams in football in this league. 3. You do not need 3. I mean,
which one would you have go?
I would either have Houston or Arlington go.
I got to bring this up
because like San Antonio doesn't have anything going on other than the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? Like, these places that are struggling with teams struggling, they have a lot of other things going on. And that's why St. Louis is kind of like the anomaly, like I said, because there have been days where the Cardinals and St. Louis City have been playing at the same time the Battlehawks are playing, and they're still sold out. But I think they need to put these teams in places that don't have a legit football following when it comes to a pro team.
Yeah.
Just because you'll draw more interest.
Well, that's it. You mentioned San Antonio. Yeah, that is a team. That's a city that is definitely football hungry. But you're right. Houston already has the Texans. Dallas already has the Cowboys. And also, I think it's stupid that they call them Arlington. Just call them the Dallas Renegades.
Yeah.
I don't know why they switched to Arlington.
Yeah. But I think Texas as a whole, I think.
Oh, we got a new comment. St. Louis.
And I agree with that. And that's renovations. Field renovations are coming for next season. This season, I think they ran out. I think the reason they gave was they ran out of time, or I don't know, something like that. Texas and I mean California, if they expand out, are the two big issues, in my opinion. There's too many teams in too many sports across too many leagues. There's too much going on. And it's like you have so many options to choose from, as opposed to some of the other places where the state has one team of each, as opposed to 3 or 4.
Yeah. Well, Oakland could be a good expansion. Everybody's wanting to get the hell out of there for all the other leagues.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. I didn't mean. I was just making a joke.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think my bottom line is I think people are overreacting to it. I really do. I think that they're overreacting, and you got to give it more time. You honestly do.
And also we're getting to week 4 in the season, and like I said, a lot of things are over with.
Yeah. Now it's basically there's hockey going on, but baseball. Baseball's
I'm just saying. You're gonna have the NHL playoffs coming up, NBA. You could count baseball, but here's the thing with baseball: there's 162 games in a season.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time for you to watch baseball.
Yeah, and the teams that are good right now may not be the teams that are good later. So exactly. Yes, I agree, and I agree with you there.
Yeah. But of course, I get it when the playoffs roll around for the NHL and the NBA. I get it. That's still some more competition.
Yeah, and it depends on what states too that are involved.
Yes.
I mean, like Oklahoma's clearly going to be glued to the Thunder. The Thunder are number 1 seed. They're looking like they could win the whole thing. It's one of the only other things you can do in Oklahoma. So I get it. Like I do. I do, and I'm glad that they have the following they have. But yeah, and like I said, consistency is the key. It's the big key. It's a lot of people are on the fence, and justifiably so. This league's already tried once. It didn't work out. I mean, it was because of COVID, but it didn't. And people aren't going to think of it that way. They're just going to see that it didn't work. So, I mean, we'll see, but they need consistency. If this league's been around for 5 years, I guarantee stadiums are going to look a lot different in year 5 than they are in year 1. So.
Well, Sportsbook Lab brings up another comment here. The playoffs start Sunday. Nobody going to be watching the UFL, unfortunately. I will say this, though. If the UFL can get the viewership numbers that we mentioned earlier during the NBA playoffs, because you got to remember, there's a break in between games. And some people.
It also depends on, who's in it. I mean, the Pistons aren't in it. The Mavericks aren't in it. St. Louis doesn't have a team, so.
And some people just don't care about the NBA.
So, I mean, I don't know. And same with hockey. I mean, the Blues are in it, so I mean, there's St. Louis, but I mean, how many other, places are in it right now? So, it just, yeah.
Yeah, the bottom line is it takes more than 3 weeks to determine the outcome of this league, and when they came back with these spring leagues starting in 2020 when the USFL came back, that made a full season. Came back the next year, competed with the XFL, which came back. Both of them finished their seasons, did fairly well. Of course, now the leagues are merged. And I honestly think the merging was for the best. And I'm not trying to just go back on what I said here, because I still think it would have been fun to see 2 spring leagues going head to head. But I'm okay with them merging like they did. Because the USFL, when it was on its own, was great. I loved watching it. A lot of fun. But I like a lot of people, even though I understood what their plan was for it, wasn't a big fan of the whole hub city thing.
Yeah, I wasn't. I think the hub city thing was the biggest turnoff to a lot of people and the biggest detriment.
Of course.
And what I wish they had done is I wish they had merged leagues. And aside from like Houston, which I mean they would have had, in my opinion, they had to make a decision, which they did. I think and wish they would have kept the rest of the teams, and just had one bigger league. So like keep New Orleans, keep Seattle.
I think, in my personal opinion, I think the reason they did that is since it was a merge, kind of like with their idea of what the USFL did, is I think it was just, you beat me to the punch, Sportsbook Lab. Yeah, they did the hub city thing to save money, and I get that. And of course, as we talked about earlier with all the soccer clubs, you have to build an audience first. So I like their approach to save money and to build a fan base. I get that, and I like that. So I think here, since they've now merged, they only kept 8 of the teams to do basically the same thing. See how it would work when there's, it's just one league now. It's not 2 you have to watch. There's no hubs. Teams are playing in their own cities, which I think that's definitely helped the numbers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they only kept 8 teams just to basically build everything back and see how it can work. Like, okay, how many people, like, for example, how many people will watch this if all the teams are playing in their own cities and not hubs? And, how is this going to work? How is that going to work? So I get it. So, yeah, I agree. They're talking about expansion. We'll probably see some of these teams come back. Like, I don't know.
You need out east and you need out west.
Yes.
You have the Midwest covered. You got the North covered.
You got to bring back, in my opinion, of course, you bring one back from each league. So I think you bring back the Pittsburgh Stars from the USFL, and then you bring back the Sea Dragons from Seattle in the XFL.
Stars or Maulers?
Stars.
So Philadelphia Stars.
Yeah, the Philadelphia. Did I say Pittsburgh Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Philadelphia Stars. That's what I meant. But of course, you got to make sure that I'm not worried about the Sea Dragons because they'll play at where the Seahawks play.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with Philadelphia is you got to figure out where for sure they're going to play.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is too, these places have huge contracts. I mean, and what I mean by that is like things are booked out so far in advance. I mean, like,
we talked about this.
Taylor Swift is touring, and we're gonna have motocross, and we're gonna play hockey, basketball. Like a lot of these places, like there's so much scheduling that you almost got to think of things like years in advance to make said schedule. So there's that too that people forget. There's a big reason for that. And same with these college stadiums. People are like, why don't they just go play in a college stadium? Dude, colleges have expanded, and they have concerts at college stadiums now. They have, so yeah, it's scheduling is a bear. It's an absolute bear. So yeah, people have to remember some of that stuff too.
Oh, of course. Now, myself personally, with if the Philadelphia Stars is the team they bring back, I'd like to think that Villanova's stadium would be an ideal place for them to play.
Yeah.
You could put them in what is it? This name of the stadium that the Eagles play in?
Lincoln Financial.
I don't know why I couldn't think of that. You could put them there too, possibly, but it's just it just depends on
the size too. I mean, what's the size of?
Oh yeah, good call. Better see what Villanova is.
I'm looking it up right now, but like, what are the sizes of these stadiums? It's if you're wanting, 20,000. See, the Villanova Stadium's capacity at 12,000 people. I mean,
Well, that's something that could work then, honestly.
So it's like, I mean, if you're wanting 25,000 people, you can't go there,
No.
So
Then Lincoln Financial would be the better option, of course. But just when it comes to picking out the stadiums for these teams, that's where you got to have a plan A, B, C, and so on. Whatever happened to the Arena League? It's actually the actual AFL. It's coming back, but it originally formed like 12 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, like I just posted in the comments section, it became kind of the indoor league for a while, because some of the teams that were in the Arena League, like merged, if you will, with indoor football, like the Arizona Rattlers.
Yeah, the IFL. Yeah,
they're in the IFL now.
Quad City Steamwheelers.
And like the Iowa Barnstormers, which they left. I mean, they weren't a team for a good long while, and then they came back with the IFL.
Yeah, the IFL right now is actually one of the biggest indoor football leagues in the country.
Yep, and currently, other than the NFL, it's currently one of the longest running leagues because after arena football quit and stuff, and the indoor football too. It'll be interesting to see what happens with arena because there are a few arena teams that are in the IFL right now, will they go back to the Arena League or will they stay? Like the Arizona Rattlers was a huge team in the Arena Leagues. They were really good, and year in, year out, they were competing for a championship and all that. Will they come back? Will they jump back into the Arena League or will they stay in the IFL?
Well, I see. Here's a big thing with IFL and the Arena Football League. The AFL we know is going to be probably on national TV.
Arena, that's what you're saying? Arena football?
The AFL.
Yeah, instead of IFL, yeah. Instead of the IFL, yeah. Because the IFL, you have to jump on YouTube if you want to watch it.
Yeah, you beat me to the punch. I was going to say, the IFL, the only way to see them play is go to their YouTube channel and watch or go to the game itself. So that's the thing. If IFL, if they want to avoid losing some of the bigger name teams in the league, like the Arizona Rattlers and the Iowa Barnstormers, they might want to think about that. Getting on a more national stage, because it's like, hey, you're the biggest indoor football league in the country. How is it that you're not on a bigger stage than YouTube? Which YouTube's a big stage, but I'm talking about like nationally televised,
right? Like on Fox or ESPN or CBS. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. It'll be really, really interesting to see like when arena football comes back, like, okay, you have the NFL now, you have UFL, you have arena football, and you have college.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not complaining. Like, I love football.
No, I'm a football junkie too. Don't get me wrong.
But like, what happens? Like, in like with arena too, it's interesting that we brought up with the Arena League.
I was
expecting a conversation. Or who are the teams? Because, I mean, like he said, Chicago Rush was a big team.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is, like, they were very popular. They were pretty darn good. They were a pretty good team.
I think Butkus actually coached that team.
At one point he did. They had a different guy other than Butkus. I can't think of his name. I can see his face. I cannot think of his name. He was a good coach. Knew that was going to be loud. Holy crap on a cracker.
Oh, you guys are having that down there too, the thunder and lightning storms? We had that up here the past couple of days.
Good grief.
But what you said, basically what teams are going to be in this league, I would like to think the Philadelphia Soul would be.
I mean, some of them you got to bring back. Like the San Jose SaberCats, like year in, year out, they were always a lock for the playoffs. Like, I mean, they were like the Patriots for a minute. I mean, it was like, dude, okay, we get it. You guys are good. Like, so yeah, it'll be interesting. Like, yeah, like you said, like Chicago Rush,
Orlando Predators, the Jacksonville Sharks.
Gosh, I'm blanking. So you just said it, and I'm blanking. Philadelphia Soul, the Chicago Rush, like you have to bring those two back. I mean, you have to. Like those two teams were like, the teams. But yeah, man, like it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Arena League. It really will. Like, and I'm excited. Like, I arena football is a lot of fun because it's basically whoever gets the ball last wins. Like, and that's what makes it crazy. Is like, and you talk about turnovers being a big thing, dude. You think turnovers are a big thing in like the NFL and college football, dude? They are huge in the Arena League. I mean, you get one turnover and you pretty much win the game. Like,
yeah,
crazy. So,
well, let me tell you something. I've been watching the Steamwheelers for the past couple weeks in the the IFL, and I know, granted, it's hard enough to play in the defensive secondary and arena anyway, but yeah. I'm pretty much what I'm basically getting at is you're pretty much right on that. Is if you can get a turnover, it's like, yeah, that changes everything, especially in the Arena League.
Well, I mean, in arena you can throw from one end zone to the other, no problem.
I hate saying this. I wanted to say this, but I was hesitant. But I'm just gonna say it. Even for Arena League, the Quad City Steamwheelers, their secondary sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate dogging the local team here, because Quad Cities they love their sports here. Moline, Rock Island, Davenport, Bettendorf on the Iowa side, they love their sports, but the Steamwheelers haven't been overly hot so far this year.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. But no, we're gonna have a lot of leagues in the fall for sure.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
But yeah, Sportsbook. I caught this Sportsbook Lab. He's been the most vocal one here on the chat, which I'm surprised. It's like, we want to talk to you guys. Say something. Sportsbook Lab is carrying the load here. But yeah, going back to the spring leagues, he says, yeah, I like the new league setup. I didn't really keep up with the USFL because I was burnt out after the XFL. Well, and the good news is when that happened, at least it was only for like a couple weeks in the season.
Yeah.
So it was only like 2 weeks, and plus they're both leagues playoffs. That's the only time they went. No, I take that back. The one, I forget which league it was. It the USFL that got started first?
XFL.
XFL. Okay. Yeah. So the only times that the leagues were head to head with one another is the last 2 weeks of the USFL, and then the 2 weeks of their playoffs.
Right. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
So there were only 4 weeks where they were head to head with one another. So it wasn't overly that big of a problem, but yeah, I guess depends how much you love football. And I can see how someone would get burnt out on it. But myself, like I said, I'm a football junkie. So I mean, I'll watch whatever.
Yeah.
But I take that back. I shouldn't say that I'll watch anything, because it's something that I have to be into, like actually excited about.
Yeah. Gotta have some rooting interest. Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's like the European League. I mean,
yeah.
Has that started back up again, or?
If they haven't, they're about to.
Okay.
Have to go look.
It's like I just can't keep up with everything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, it's also what's on. I mean, like here and stuff. You can catch the games. I mean, you could probably technically catch the games in Europe, but the other big thing with that is like the time difference. That's why I'm always shocked by like the NFL presence in Europe. Because I mean, like some of them people that watch games and stuff, dude, you're getting up either super early or you're staying up super late. Like, so, some of them people, like I give them all the credit in the world. Like, I mean, you're watching the New Orleans Saints and you live in England, like good for you. or whoever, so
Well, it's just
yeah,
like whatever. It's just like whatever soccer league you follow over there, whether it's English Premier League, Irish League, whatever. You're getting up at usually 4 or 5 in the morning to catch a match over there.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
And
I totally agree. But yeah, man, like I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting.
oh, I think it's going to be interesting too, baby. I'm Taylor Swift. I'll crash that party and ruin it for everybody. Oh, no, you didn't, bitch. Stingers galore here, dude.
God.
I told you earlier in the day when I texted you that I had a surprise for tonight. That was it. Whether people like it, I don't know. Listen, everybody who's watching, even if you think it sucks, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's negative. Tell me that's not funny.
Ooh,
I want to see it in the comments. Do you like it or hate it? And if you hate it, no hard feelings. That's cool.
Top
anyway.
UFL teams.
Okay,
Okay.
who you guys say is the top?
Are we going like biased opinion, or are we going like power rankings?
See, that's a good point. Or do you want to go top 2 teams by conference? Because there's the XFL conference and the USFL conference. So those names still exist. They're just the names of the conferences.
Because like for me, power rankings, number 1, number 2 is Birmingham and Michigan. Okay. And people are like, well, how can you do Michigan? How can you say Michigan? Okay, because Michigan beat St. Louis and St. Louis beat undefeated San Antonio. So, in my opinion, if you're going top 4, it's Birmingham, Michigan, St. Louis, Memphis. No, I'm sorry. San Antonio, Memphis.
Well, all I know is I'll tell you one thing. With all 8 teams in this league, the teams right now that are 0-3 or 1-2, with a lot of the games actually that I've seen so far.
You got some work.
What do you mean?
It's going to be tough. I mean,
yes. No, yeah, of course it's going to take some work to get back in the playoff race. What I mean is, what I'm saying is this is some good football. And these records, like these 0-3 teams and 1-2 teams, don't let the records fool you. They have some.
Yeah. Arlington, their record does not say how. They're not an 0-3 team. Their record is very deceiving.
Yeah, because, Michigan, it took a 64-yard field goal for them to beat us.
Mm-hmm.
The Renegades,
we beat the Renegades on a field goal.
Yeah, we beat the Renegades on
a field goal. 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point. What you call it? Last week, the Renegades and the DC Defenders. The DC Defenders, the comeback that they made within the last couple of minutes to beat the Renegades, that was crazy. And hey, Golden Playbook, how's it going? Sportsbook Lab has a bet or a question for you, Ben. Do you ever bet on the UFL?
I do not. I don't bet on much.
Same here. I'm not much of a gambler. But then again, he asked you, not me.
But yeah, no, not yet. I've done the NFL a couple times, but not not the UFL.
I think I've said this on episodes and live streams before, but I have a cousin who will bet on damn near anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
He could be walking down the street and some neighborhood kids would be having a kickball game. And he'd be like, I'd be like, I'll take Tommy's team by 10 points over Billy's.
Yeah. So that's funny.
He's got a problem. He's got a legit gambling problem. The only reason that he doesn't get into trouble, like how like addicts do, is he doesn't use money from his regular job. He doesn't use money from his regular job. He does a bunch of side jobs, and that's what he uses for his gambling money. Or his play.
Not a bad way of doing it.
Still doesn't change the fact that he has a problem.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying at least you're not like, there goes the mortgage, like.
You know what,
So-
Sportsbook? I think you did ask me.
But
Yeah, Golden Playbook says congrats on the win. As a Brahmas fan, good game. I
yeah,
was
that
glad.
was a good game. That was, I mean, San
was-
Antonio they did not quit. Like every time you thought you were good, it's seeing here comes San Antonio again. Like
Yeah, I'm like, come
So-
on, no freaking magic this week.
like
Just like my rants when I go on about all these teams having a feel good story at Notre Dame's expense. Don't let it be us again. Come on. Not one of my teams again, please.
I agree. Well, I just bet low odds. Yeah, I mean, if I get some like free stuff, because like every now and then, like there'll be things that'll be like, here's a $5 bonus bet on us or whatever. Then I'll be like, okay, so whatever. But yeah, mostly that.
You know who doesn't? Somebody who can bet and throw away money no problem. That'd be me right here, bitch. And you know what happens when I lose? I'm all pissed off. More stingers.
Yeah.
Golden Playbook. I really hope the UFL does good. There are so many people that are wishing it to fail. I know it's like why I've seen that too. It's all across, mostly Facebook, where I've seen on different groups and whatnot.
Yeah, people just looking for something to complain about.
It's like, why do you want something to fail?
Yeah.
Like these are guys who could potentially be on your NFL team someday. It's like I can understand if spring football is not something that you're into, because let's face it, a lot of these guys are guys who would, if they make an NFL team, they'd be probably on the practice squad or low on the roster if they made the active roster. I get that, but that's a dream in a lifetime for them.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't see it that way, but all I'm saying is, if you're not into it, that's fine. But why would you hope for it to fail? That never made sense to me.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know, let's talk specifically about the Battlehawks for a second. We got a big one coming up this week against the Memphis Showboats.
Mm-hmm.
And the Showboats, they're not a team to be taken lightly either.
No. Nope. Not at all.
So, Fred Benson. Where can I find the UFL, and do they carry the games on the radio? Oh, I don't know, Fred. Look it up. Just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding. The radio, I don't think they have. I mean, they might. I don't know. But TV, it's ESPN, Fox, and I want to say there's another network. But so far it's usually been Fox Sports 1, ESPN on ABC, and then ESPN Plus.
Here you go. Hold on. Got it right here.
You know what's funny though, and I know Golden Playbook will attest to this, because we're a part of the same Notre Dame page on Facebook. All these people who ask, like, especially when it's a Notre Dame home game, they ask what the network will be and what time it is. The network part, I'm sorry, I can't help but get a little annoyed by that. When it's a Notre Dame home game, gee, I don't know, what network do you think a Notre Dame home game is going to be on?
Yeah,
it's only been on NBC for like the last 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
But no, Fred Benson, no, that's a fair question. Not a lot of people know that. So I
threw the schedule up in the comments. So, but yeah, man, this is a good stopping point, man. Like, we're about almost an hour and a half in.
And just when people are finally starting to comment, people other than Sportsbook Lab. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We're glad to have you, Sportsbook, and we're glad that you're commenting and asking questions. But where's everybody else talking? That's the best part, is to interact with your viewers.
The rain scared them away.
It didn't. From my end, it wasn't that loud. That look on your face, like, Sean, It was a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke.
You had this annoyed look, Ben.
Yep.
You had that annoyed look on your face just now.
Taylor Swift is my soul sister, for sure. For sure.
Man, in this picture, she looks like she almost doesn't even have a mouth. It's like a mouth that's painted on.
Yeah, it kind of does actually.
And then you got the guy off to the left here in the upper left-hand corner. It's like, what's he trying to look at? Dirty pervert. All right. We got to make that a segment of the whether it's a live stream or just. All right, I'll bring it back up. Look at it again. He's just like, I mean, it's blurry. His glasses are blurry, but he's like, right past the champagne bottle. It's like, what's he trying to look at? I can't see where his eyes are because I can't tell if they're looking down or up or whatnot. But he's like beelining it right for Taylor Swift.
Well, it's funny because like the best part is 2 out of the 3 guys are, I mean, in my opinion, looking at the girls. But then there's one guy that's like, just, staring down his buddy pretty good. So, I don't know.
Yeah, so we know at least one of these 3 guys are heterosexual. Yeah, one of these 3 guys are heterosexual. These 2 on the right, I don't know. It's a hard call. And this brunette girl, she just looks annoyed. She don't care. And let's see, what kind of?
It's like somebody told a bad joke at that.
Well,
table.
It's
like her and Taylor Swift are both like, "Yo, that was not that funny."
Well, the thing is, this picture was from what was it, the Golden Globes or whatever. I saw this clip. It was that one. What's his name? Joey K or something like that. It was a joke that he made about saying, "Hey, you know what's great about this? Something about like, what's the difference between now and the NFL? The NFL." Or here tonight, you're not going to be seeing many side shots of Taylor Swift. Something like that.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, you got Taylor Swift who, it looks like she has a painted on mouth. You got these 2 guys talking to one another. We're not sure if they're together. You know what I mean? And then you got this old guy in the upper left-hand corner just like staring Taylor down, but you don't know what he's looking for.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be just a dirty old man. But that has got to be a segment. Oh wait, hold on. Sportsbook says Travis is tripping. She isn't even that good looking. Makeup does a lot of wonders, dude. Alcohol too, but I can't comment on that.
Yeah.
I think the Battlehawks have a bright future. I hope the future sticks around for a while. But I was going to say, dude, we've got to make that a segment on the show, live stream or recorded video. It doesn't matter. We got to take a picture like that and break it down.
Yep.
That was funny as hell.
Yep.
And we've got another segment in mind, guys. But we're
debating. We're debating it.
We're debating. Should I give them just tell them what we're thinking about doing, or should we save it?
Nah, we'll save it.
Okay. I'll just say this. It's a segment or it's a little game that involves 3 people at a time.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. It involves 3 people.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree. It's a good stopping point. Otherwise, I could just do my puppet shows. Yo, what's up? I'm Caleb Williams. I'm coming to the NFL and I'm gonna be the new diva. I'm still gonna be the diva because I'm dating my man in the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, not if I take your man. Okay, that'd be slander galore if we were getting paid for this.
You have too much. You have, what's the word I'm looking for? Too much imagination going on right there. I don't even know. I'm tired. I'm not even thinking straight. Whatever.
All right. Well, real quick.
YouTube short.
Ben, you want me to sing you a lullaby, honey? She's waiting
as long
for
as it doesn't cost me money. That's all that I say.
Oh, well, you're going to pay some money. I'm Taylor Swift, bitch. She's waiting for an answer.
Yeah. So,
well, screw you too, Ben. Screw you, Ben. I'm going home.
Let's.
Come on, you're liking this and you know it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It's funny. I know I've made you laugh before, but I don't think I've ever made you laugh like that.
No, that was pretty good.
All right. Well, listen, guys, he's right. Ben is right. This is a good stopping point for this week's live stream. So again, sorry we missed you guys last week, but we will definitely be back on track on a regular basis here. Mm-hmm. But Golden Playbook got this in just in the nick of time. We should honor it. He's like, I got a question for you guys. What do you think about Riley Leonard? Is he a step up or a step down?
Step up.
I agree. Step up too.
Step up. Yep.
All right, guys. Well, with that said, I'm Sean Moriarty.
I'm Benjamin Walters.
And again, we are so close to 1,000 subs. Make sure you guys tell your friends about us and help us get there. And as we've said in videos, fan giveaway when we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. So on that note, everyone have a great night and God bless.
God bless.